Did you know Walmart removes over 150 products every single month, often without saying a word? And now, 12 of the most loved, most used items are being quietly removed in 2026. So let's count down 12 Walmart products you'll never see again and why it matters more than you think. And real quick, if you want to stay ahead of these changes and avoid getting caught off guard, subscribe to Frugal Finds for you right now. We track what's disappearing, what's worth buying, and how to save money before the shelves shift again. Number 12, ONN 40 FHD Roku Smart TV, old models. You may not have noticed yet, but Walmart has already started pulling one of its most reliable budget electronics off the shelves. The ONN 40-inch FHD Roku Smart TV. These TVs were the go-to choice for anyone who needed a simple, affordable way to stream their favorite shows. No complicated setup, no flashy features you'll never touch, and definitely no $600 price tag. It was just plug it in, connect to Wi-Fi, and you're good. But here in 2026, they're being quietly phased out and replaced by fancier 4K versions that promise more, cost more, and let's be honest, don't really change your life. For years, this TV helped families, students, and everyday people get access to entertainment without going broke. It was perfect for small apartments, bedrooms, dorm rooms, or anywhere you needed a screen that simply worked. And now you walk into Walmart, and it's wall-to-wall expensive models, loaded with features you may never use, paired with price tags that feel like a punishment for trying to stay on budget. The old ONN models? They're nowhere to be found. No big markdowns, no warning sign, no last chance label. They've just vanished. And with them goes another small piece of what made Walmart feel like the budget-friendly store people trusted. So here's the real question. Why are the affordable basics always the first to go? Why does it feel like every upgrade is really just a reason to raise the price? Think about it. If you were planning to grab a backup TV or needed one for the kids' room, now you might be paying double for something you didn't even ask for. And what's worse, no one said a word. These removals happen quietly. That's why this video matters. So you know before it's too late. Because by the time you notice it's missing, it already is. Number 11. Great Value Diet Cream Soda, 12-pack. If you've walked the soda aisle lately and felt like something was missing, you're not alone. The Great Value Diet Cream Soda, once a quiet favorite among Walmart shoppers, has started disappearing from shelves across the country. No announcement, no big clearance display, no final sale sticker, just quietly removed. In late 2024, Walmart began what they called streamlining their beverage offerings. In plain terms, certain products didn't hit high enough sales targets. So, in many stores, they simply pulled them. And here's what makes that frustrating. This drink had a small but loyal following for a reason. People loved the smooth flavor, the fact that it didn't taste like straight chemicals, and how it stood out in a sea of diet sodas that can feel harsh or artificial. One shopper put it perfectly. It was the only diet soda I actually liked, and that kind of loyalty isn't easy to replace. But now, fans are walking into their local Walmart and finding nothing but empty shelf space where it used to sit. And it's not gone everywhere yet, but it's going fast. And here's the bigger issue. We're not always given a choice. When something doesn't sell huge numbers, it disappears, even if it meant something real to the people who bought it consistently. So, what happens next? Will more of these niche favorites quietly vanish too? Ask yourself this: how many more favorites will disappear before we even realize what we've lost? Number 10. Progressive Furniture Full Line. This one isn't just one item being removed. It's an entire furniture brand disappearing from Walmart stores in 2026. Progressive Furniture, a name found in countless American homes, is shutting down operations. That means every dresser, nightstand, TV stand, and coffee table under that name is phasing out fast. If you've walked through the furniture section recently, you may have already noticed it. Fewer pieces, less variety, gaps where full collections used to be. In some stores, it's already gone, and once the remaining inventory sells out, that's it. What makes this sting more is the ripple effect. Imagine buying a dresser one year, planning to come back later for the matching nightstands, and then finding out the whole line has been discontinued. One shopper said it best: "I just bought the dresser last year. Now I can't even find the matching pieces." That frustration is real, especially when you're trying to keep a consistent style in your home without breaking the bank. Walmart was one of the last places where affordable furniture lines like this were accessible to everyday families. And now another one bites the dust. But here's the deeper issue. When an entire brand disappears, we lose more than furniture. We lose reliability. We lose the ability to build a home slowly, room by room, paycheck by paycheck, without having to gamble on whether the matching pieces will exist next season. This isn't about luxury shopping. It's about normal families trying to create a stable home that looks decent and feels consistent. And with Progressive on its way out, it raises the question, what other staple brands vanish next? Because when consistency goes, confidence in what we're buying goes with it. Number 9. George's men's dress shoes. Another one quietly fading from store shelves. The classic George men's dress shoes. Once one of the most affordable formal options at Walmart, they're now being pulled from many locations across the country. The reason? Lower demand and rising import costs. That means if you were hoping to grab a pair for under $30, that window may be closing for good. For a lot of folks, this isn't just about shoes. It's about losing one more reliable option that worked when money was tight. These weren't flashy. They weren't trying to impress anyone. But they served a purpose, and they served it well. Job interviews, school events, funerals, first days at work, last-minute emergencies where you just needed to look presentable without spending half your paycheck. These shoes helped people show up looking sharp when they didn't have the budget for anything fancy. One shopper nailed it. "They weren't Gucci, but they got me through interviews." That's real life. And now many customers are walking into stores and realizing they're gone, or that their size is gone, or that the section has shrunk into a few overpriced leftovers. This is what we're seeing more and more, the quiet exit of products that made everyday life a little more manageable. So here's the question: what happens when these budget-friendly essentials vanish one by one? Because when practical, affordable choices disappear, it's not just about the product, it's about the people who depended on it. Number 8. Better Homes and Gardens Fragrance Wax Cubes. Older editions. You might not notice it right away, but next time you stroll through the home aisle, look closer. Dozens of wax cube scents from Better Homes and Gardens are quietly vanishing. Walmart is retiring older editions to make room for constant seasonal rotations. That means your go-to scent, the one that made your space feel calm, clean, or cozy, could already be off the shelf. And the worst part is this: most shoppers don't realize it until they go back to restock, and it's just not there anymore. For a lot of people, these wax cubes weren't just air fresheners. They were part of a routine, a comfort, a little signal to your brain that the house is clean, or the weekend is here, or it's time to relax. Lavender linen after cleaning, ocean mist on a quiet Sunday, vanilla warmth during winter evenings, small moments that made life feel better. Now more and more of those familiar scents are disappearing without notice. One week, they're there. The next week, it's nothing but empty slots or unfamiliar seasonal blends that don't hit the same. And no, the replacements don't always match what people loved. It might seem like a tiny change, but here's the thing: it affects how people feel in their own homes. Scent is personal. It's emotional. You build memories around it without even realizing you're doing it. So, when the one scent you love vanishes, it hits harder than you expect. And the question becomes, how many more small favorites will disappear while we're not looking? Because when comfort gets replaced by constant rotation, even home starts to feel a little less like home. Number 7. Great Value Light Yogurt Multi-Pack Flavors. Another everyday staple is on its way out, and most people don't even realize it yet. The Great Value Light Yogurt Multi-Packs are slowly being pulled from more and more Walmart shelves. It started with a few flavors. First, cherry vanilla, then lemon cream. And now, the whole line feels unstable. If you've gone to grab your usual pack and found only half the options, you're not imagining things. It's happening quietly, flavor by flavor. And for longtime shoppers, that's a real loss. These yogurts were more than just a snack. For busy mornings, school lunches, or a healthier late-night bite, they checked every box. Tasty, light, affordable, convenient. One viewer said it best, "I used to stock my fridge with these. Now it's like a lottery. Some days your favorite is there. Other days, it's gone without explanation." And if you're trying to stick to a budget or keep a consistent meal plan, those inconsistencies add up fast. Not just in frustration, but in dollars. Because when your affordable option disappears, you're forced into pricier replacements. What's tough is that we get used to these routines. They become part of life. And when that pattern gets disrupted, when the item you've bought for years disappears without warning, it leaves a gap. Not just in your fridge, but in your sense of normal. So here's the question. How many more quiet goodbyes are coming? Because it's not always the flashy items that matter most. Sometimes it's the little things we count on every day, until we can't anymore. If any of these have already vanished from your local Walmart, hit that like button so more people see this. And if you never want to be caught off guard again, subscribe to Frugal Finds for You. We don't just track disappearing products. We bring you real tips to save money, avoid bad buys, and make every dollar count. Number 6, My Life as Dolls. This one hits right in the heart. My Life as Dolls, the Walmart exclusive line that became a birthday favorite across the country, is now being removed from store shelves. Quietly and without a big announcement, this affordable doll line is leaving many locations, making way for more competitive brands like Barbie and LOL. For years, these dolls were a go-to gift for families who wanted to give something special without spending a fortune. And now, they're slowly disappearing from the aisles where they once had a full section. These weren't just toys. They were part of childhood memories, detailed outfits, diverse characters, cute accessories, and a price tag that didn't make parents feel stressed. My Life has made it possible for everyday families to give meaningful gifts without turning it into a financial decision they'd regret. One mom shared, "My daughter asked for it last Christmas. This year, I can't even find it on the shelf." And that's the reality many are facing. Walking in expecting something familiar, only to find empty space and no clear replacement in sight. This raises a bigger concern. As more affordable options are quietly taken off shelves, how do families keep creating joyful moments without overspending? Not every family can drop $80 on a doll, and not every child wants the trendiest brand. My Life has offered balance. It felt special, but it stayed realistic. And now that balance is slipping away. When toys like this start disappearing, it's not just about what Walmart is selling. It's about what kind of memories families can still afford to make. Number 5. Equate men's 3-blade disposable razors, 24-pack. If you've been picking up the 24-pack of Equate 3-blade disposables for years, here's the news. They're being phased out from many Walmart shelves. These razors were simple, effective, and affordable. A go-to option for men who didn't want to overpay for grooming essentials. But now, in an effort to shift toward more eco-conscious alternatives, this reliable pack is being replaced. You may still spot it in some stores for now, but more and more locations are clearing it out quietly, and customers are noticing the change. These razors were never about luxury. They were about convenience, price, and getting the job done. For under $10, you get a pack that could last months. No frills, no nonsense. No premium system locked behind a $20 pack. But now, shoppers are seeing eco-labeled replacements that look sleeker and cost more. One frustrated buyer said it plainly, "Eco is great, but I just want a razor that doesn't cost $20. And that's the heart of it. For many people, this isn't a debate about the planet. It's about being able to afford the basics. The bigger shift here isn't just about razors, it's about how product lines are evolving, and not always in ways that meet real-life needs. As low-cost grooming essentials disappear, shoppers are left with fewer choices that respect tight budgets. So here's the question. What happens when even your razor starts feeling like a luxury item? It's a small product, but it points to a bigger trend. And that's exactly why people are starting to pay attention. Number 4, Sam's Choice Coffee Pods, specialty flavors. If you've got a favorite Sam's Choice coffee pod flavor, now is the time to check your pantry. Because some of the most loved options are being quietly removed from Walmart shelves: coconut mocha, hazelnut cream, other specialty flavors that made mornings feel comforting. They're vanishing as the brand shifts, focus toward only the top-selling blends. That means those unique varieties you finally fell in love with, they're being pulled from circulation without much notice and without much warning. One shopper summed up the frustration perfectly. "I finally found one I liked. Now it's gone." And for coffee lovers, that's a different kind of heartbreak. These weren't just convenience items. They were part of the morning routine, a ritual, a flavor that made your kitchen feel like your own personal cafe. Now, many shoppers are left choosing between 2 or 3 generic options, wondering why the ones that brought them joy are no longer there. It might not sound like a big deal, until it's your flavor that disappears next. And this shift isn't just about coffee. It's about how even small pleasures are becoming harder to hold on to. As Walmart narrows down its selection, shoppers who crave variety are left with fewer choices and less satisfaction. So here's something to think about. How many other little favorites are quietly going away? Because when simple comforts like your morning coffee start slipping through the cracks, it's not just your routine that changes. It's your whole day. Number 3, faded glory jeans. This one is personal for a lot of folks. Faded glory jeans are being retired from Walmart shelves after decades of dependable wear. If you grew up shopping at Walmart, chances are you owned a pair. They were affordable, durable, and felt like real denim. Not paper thin, not overstyled, not trying to be trendy every 5 minutes. Just good, honest jeans that did the job. But now that reliable option is being phased out in favor of newer brands with higher price tags and trendier fits. One shopper summed it up in a sentence: $12. Comfortable, real denim. That's all it needed to be. For millions of people, Faded Glory wasn't just a brand. It was a solution for work, for school, for weekend chores, for everyday life. They gave you something you could count on without draining your budget. But recently, more shoppers have been walking into stores, looking for that familiar tag, and walking out disappointed. Bit by bit, the shelves are shifting, and one of the most recognizable names in affordable clothing is being replaced with options that don't always feel better. They just cost more. And here's the bigger story. When classic, budget-friendly staples like this are removed, something changes in the shopping experience. It becomes harder for everyday Americans to find clothing that feels right in price, in comfort, and in identity. So let me ask you, what did Faded Glory mean to you? Was it your first pair of jeans? Your go-to for work? The brand you trusted when money was tight? Because once brands like this are gone, they rarely come back the same. And if you want more updates like this before the changes hit your store, subscribe to Frugal Finds for You. It's the easiest way to stay informed and stay ahead. Number 2, Mainstays Non-Stick Cookware Set, 5-piece. For millions of people, this was the first cookware set they ever owned. The Mainstays 5-piece non-stick set was simple, affordable, and dependable. The kind of thing you grabbed when you moved into your first apartment, or needed a quick kitchen reset without spending real money you didn't have. But now, this classic is being removed from Walmart shelves in favor of newer, trendier versions. Ceramic, induction safe, eco this, eco that. And while change can be good, sometimes the upgrade doesn't feel like an improvement. One viewer shared, "My mom got me that set when I moved out. It lasted 10 years. And that's exactly why this change stings. These pots and pans weren't fancy, but they worked. You could fry, simmer, sauté, and serve without constantly worrying about ruining your cookware or blowing your budget. They were built for real life, not showroom kitchens. Now, shoppers are being nudged toward flashier sets that cost more, and in some cases, don't even last as long. And the original version is slipping away quietly with no big announcement. So here's the question. Are we really being offered better options, or just more expensive ones? When reliable, budget-friendly basics disappear, it creates a gap that's hard to fill. Not everyone wants a high-tech kitchen. Sometimes you just need something that works, day in and day out. And when those basics disappear, we don't just lose cookware. We lose a little of that confidence that we can build a life without overspending. Number 1. Workin' bags. Hermes Birkin-inspired dupes. And here it is, the most talked about, most loved, and most controversial fashion item Walmart has had in years. The Workin' bags, those viral dupes inspired by the legendary Hermes Birkin, are no longer on shelves. In early 2026, they were quietly pulled, not just from stores, but from Walmart's website too. No official statement, no clearance sale, just gone. For thousands of shoppers, this wasn't just another accessory. It was the moment luxury finally met affordability. And now that moment is over. It was my favorite bag, and I could actually afford it. That single quote captures exactly why this one hit so hard. These bags gave people a little piece of high fashion without the four-figure price tag. And for many women, it wasn't about copying a designer brand. It was about feeling confident, stylish, and seen, without having to spend rent money to do it. Now that they've been removed, there's a fashion void that no big brand logo can fill. Will they ever come back? Honestly, it's unlikely. The legal heat around these dupes got real, and once a product disappears like this, especially one this polarizing, it usually stays gone. And that's the deeper sting. Not just losing the bag itself, but losing what it represented. Style without shame. Confidence without cost. For many shoppers, Workin wasn't a knockoff. It was a breakthrough. And its quiet removal leaves a loud silence on the shelves. And in the hearts of everyone who proudly carried one. So, here's my question for you. Which of these products have you noticed disappearing in your local Walmart? Drop it in the comments, because your store might be the warning sign someone else needs. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe to Frugal Finds for You. Because if Walmart can quietly remove these, they can quietly remove the next 12 too, and we'll be the ones tracking it. Stay smart, and I'll see you there.